Well, hello, this is Mr. Bob, the computer guy with LikeNEWPC at the LikeNEWPC Tech Bench. We're here today to show you how to use LikeNEWPC to fix your disabled, badly infected, and slow Windows computers. This was made for novices, so I'm going to walk you through it so that you too can recover lost pictures, files, folders, stuff that you have sitting aside in those computers in your garage. We're going to show you how to fix them online. To start with, give you a little bit of background. The company's formed here in Colorado, in Broomfield. I'm Bob Wing. I'm the CEO. I have had 35 years experience in computers and repairing computers, hard drive patents, and won Best of Comdex in 2001 for a automated service software package. My partner, Harvey Lawton, he has many patents or many products that he has brought to market. Fax on Demand was one, RID, Remote Interactive Diagnostics, and several others. He also has put together a number of websites that were quite profitable. So we got a lot of experience. This ain't our first rodeo. So LikeNEWPC was designed for novices, basically to be able to take a computer that's disabled and non-functioning and get it working again. Some 3 million tons of computers are literally scrapped annually, and a lot of that could be saved utilizing a program like ours that fixes these types of issues. It'll fix non-starting, non-booting, blue screens, black screens, missing DLLs, you name it. We've put together a process that is currently being patented to go in and fix all of these different issues and items. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started and teach you how to fix your own computer. This program works from the internet. So basically it's online. Let me get this share correctly. We're going to share this screen. And you should be seeing that now. This is LikeNEWPC's website. It's at www.likenewpc.net. Basically, all you do is go in and you download the product, as I'm showing you here. There's 3 different ways to download the product, or multiple ways to download the product with different internet browsers. We're going to use Internet Explorer, but you could also use Chrome, Firefox, some of the others, but each one acts differently. As soon as you click on the download, you may have something like this to click on. You may have a pop-up that has you download. If you haven't downloaded a product before, what you want to do is basically click through and make sure that you go through all the security questions and answers to be able to download the product. You want to get to a screen like this. Basically, if you have any problems getting to this screen, a lot of times you can come in here and your virus protection programs may need to be disabled so that you can get in there and download the product. We have FAQs on the website to be able to help you with these things. So if you're having issues, just go ahead and go to the web, go to the individual ones and click through them. You want to click on Run LikeNEWPC from the computer, the problem computer. We'll go into these other 2 selections at a later date. Essentially, you can take and either copy the program to a USB and take it to another defective computer, or you can create a USB CD that's bootable, that'll actually go to a computer that's non-starting, boot it up, and repair it from there. So that's a good option if it's really bad and you want to recover pictures or something. You want to click on the bootable part right there, create a bootable disk or USB. We're going to download the product. Once you click on the download, it basically downloads an install, or not an install, a small utility to download files. We do not install on your computer. The reason why that is we don't want to take and put more onus on a sick computer to try to perform operations. This is all done from the cloud. It's safe. It doesn't install on your computer, so you don't have to worry about any security threats or any of those other issues. If you check our site out, we're very secure and have been verified by Virus Total and others as being a safe product for download. Once you get to here, it's telling you to save and share, make sure your work's all taken care of. As soon as you click on this, the program is going to take control, and it's going to start its download to you. You have three choices. Basically, you can run now with backup, run now without backup, or exit, and it'll allow you to run later. The reason why we want you to run a backup is because we're doing open heart surgery on this computer, so it is quite intensive. It's safe. We've tested it on 10,000 20,000 computers. One download was over 15,000 at one test. So it's got lots of experience, and it is a very safe product. But just in case you want to go ahead and back your stuff up, it's always a prudent thing to do. What this product does is it's going to operate in 2 steps. It's going to run 12 different scanners and tools. The first step is going to go in, and it is going to do the low-level fixing on your computer. It's going to fix your hard drive. It's going to replace any Windows files or any problem issues with Windows operating system itself. It's going to go in and make sure all the file structures are correct, and your disk drive is all structured and pointing at the correct places. It's basically going to go in and take care and ensure that the foundation, all of the hardware, is solid before we go in and do some of the more intensive things on the back end. Once you complete the first step, you can at that point you can basically go and go off and exit and run it another day if it's taken too long, because this can take on bad computers up to 12 hours. What you want to do is either run it overnight or you can run it during the day. The average times for both steps 1 and steps 2 is anywhere from 4 to 12 hours. Step 2 is basically cleaning the computer, doing all the virus scans, removing all the bugs and malware, spyware, all of the different issues you have there, and then it goes in and it repairs Windows on the back end again, resets all your files and your settings. So basically, it's going to do a complete repair of your computer with both steps. Before you continue and actually download and run the program, you want to have a USB drive ready for that backup. About halfway through the first step, it'll allow you to back up all your files. If you have a non-starting computer, at that point, you're going to be able to recover those pictures that you thought you'd lost. So you want to have that USB ready, and you'll go in there. There's 2 different options, which we'll discuss here later on, but you can go in and back up individually or just back up the whole folder. Any devices you have attached to the computer, USB mice, USB keyboards, you'll want to go ahead and detach those because the program will not recognize those. So you'll have to get a wired mouse or a wired keyboard. Basically, you're not doing any keyboard input, so basically all you'd need would be a mouse. But you need to get a mouse to make sure that you can still operate the program. It's designed to be completely automated, with very little end user automation. So you'll want to, come back and check at the points that I tell you to see if you need to do anything. But there's literally only 2 or 3 points that we'll discuss where you have to actually come in and click to get on the internet or, to do the backup. It's all more elective stuff than anything else. But there is times when you do need to be here. We will show you when you need to be here on the display, and I'll go into that as we get to that. Basically, I would select Run Now with the backup, and from that point on, it's going to download to the computer. And we're going to get to that here in a second. There's our selection. It's going to download to the computer. Once it finishes the download, the computer is going to restart. And you'll notice up here, it's got Windows 10, and then it has the Start Like New PC Repairs. If you decide you want to opt out and run it later, you can just go into Windows 10 and then go into repairs later. But clicking on Like New PC Repair, hitting enter, will start the program. And the first thing you're going to see, it's going to give you instructions. It's going to tell you what to do. Right now, it's going to try to connect to the internet, and you'll need to be present for that. Then it's going to go in and allow you to do the backup, and then at the end here, it's going to say that it's completed. At that point, you'll want to go ahead and click the restart, and it will restart. This is just the brief description. If you forget what I'm saying, it's in the GUI, the end user interface here, so that you can see it before that happens. Once that you click that you want to continue, it's going to attempt to connect to the internet. At that point, you'll have the ability to select whether you want to connect via the Ethernet cable or you want to connect via wireless. It will remember your decision. The reason why LikeNEWPC can get in and recover your pictures is that this is our own operating system in step one. Essentially, we have control of the computer without Microsoft's operating system being in control. So we can go in and look at the individual files on your computer to recover that data. And that's one of the beauties of our program, is that the first step allows you to get raw access, also allows our scanners to go in and do what they call file level scans to really root out your computer for bugs. And in this particular case, in step one, rootkits. It'll go in and find rootkits and other stuff that it can't find when it boots up in the normal Windows that you see normally. So this is our own controlled environment. It may be too much to comprehend at this point, but it's separate from what we're going to do in step two, and it allows us to get your stuff is basically what's happening. So we're going to click on connect via cable. At that point in time, it's connected to the internet. You look right here, we pretty much tell you to stay with the computer right now to make sure that it finishes connecting. Once it does connect, it will check that step off and move to the next step. Now you can run unattended. Essentially, as an end user and as a beginner, once you get it going to this point, you can leave it and let it run unattended. Essentially, you can come back when either A, it's time to do the backup, which will be about halfway through. You can see it right here. Or B, you're all the way to the end and it's time to reboot and go to step two. All of this stuff, like I said, is automated. It will tell you right here whether you need to be with the computer or not. And it also tells you about how long you need to check back. This particular step, you notice it says checking the fixed drive and boot. This is a very complex step, and the reason why we say do not exit during this step, we've got patents pending, and a lot of them are around what we're doing here to repair the startup of your computer. If you've ever worked on a computer or seen people, trying to fix these types of problems, are very complex, and we've automated all that into an algorithm that is being patented, as well as this whole process. So right there, you don't want to exit during this step. Okay, once that finishes, usually about 2 to 5 minutes, it's going to come in and it's going to scan your hard drive, and it literally is going in to check for defects. It's checking to make sure that the file structure is okay, making sure that all the different pointers and everything that's with your hard drive, everything is working the way that it should be, so that we have a good solid base to get ready to remove all the bugs later in step two. Once again, at that point, you'll be given an opportunity to do the backup. There's two different choices. You can exit here, but we don't recommend it because we do want you to try to save your data if you're going in and you can't boot the computer up. Now's the time to get that backed up. There may be cases where we aren't able to fix it, and now is your best shot to get that data. So go ahead and take it off now. You can do the easy backup. Basically comes in, it'll calculate the disk space, tell you what you need. and then basically it'll tell you to insert a USB flash drive of that size, and then it'll perform the backup. What that does is basically back up your folder that has all your documents and pictures. If you want to do it individually, you just go Start Advanced, and then you can literally select, which files you want. You can select any of these, or all of them if you want, but you can select your files independently, and that will be backed up at that point. Now, the important thing to understand here is people's data can be huge. If you're backing up your information, if it tells you need 10 gig USB to back it up, that's going to take you about 8 to 10 hours. So you need to understand that when you back that up, you got to go away for a while and come back. And when it finishes, it's going to let you know. At that point, it's going to restore the system settings, as we discussed. And then after it restores the system settings, all the Windows settings and stuff, it's going to come in and do a rootkit scan and download the next programs. This will download the programs from the internet as it needs them. Once we're done with that particular test, those programs go away. They're not saved on your computer. The only thing saved on your computer is some of the run data and some of the history, so that if we come back in later or there's problems later, we can recover anything that went wrong easier. So no programs on your computer, just information to help recover stuff and history. Once you do the rootkit scan, it's time to restart the computer. You've completed step 1. Typically, that's going to take 4 to 8 hours max. If it runs longer, let it run. LikeNEWPC has timeouts. It will get to a point, if it can't recover or do a certain step, or gets locked up because the computer is really badly infected, let it go ahead and run, because it will time out. I've seen it run 2 days and still fix the computer like new. So sometimes, certain circumstances, doesn't happen very often, but it may appear to lock up. You can always tell that it's running by looking down here, because this green bar, as long as it's moving, and this is a static picture, so it won't, but as long as this is moving, LikeNEWPC is running. So you want to make sure that you watch that at all times. Okay, your computer will then reboot. It's now going to come up into Windows, but it's an engineering mode of Windows called safe mode. At that point, LikeNEWPC is going to go out and check and see if you have any programs that are compromised or that are causing issues that is making your computer slow. Now, the thing about this is that usually always, if you've got a slow computer, one of the security programs has been corrupted by a virus or malware, or you've got multiple security programs and they're fighting each other. So a lot of times that is what's causing, a good 30% of your slowdown. So you got a couple of different choices here. If you want to remove your security programs before you start and then reinstall them after, you can do that. We automatically uninstall most security programs that we found to be issues. The only problem is that sometimes halfway through, they may ask for security codes, so you may have to be here. So that's why it says stay by your computer during program removal, because if we identify some issues and want to remove those, we need you here in case they want you to enter a security code or there's any instructions. I would say about 80% are automated, but a few of them are going to ask you a couple questions. The other thing to note about security programs is that if you don't have your software key, or if you don't have an email with the key in it so that you can reinstall what you had, we at the end of our program, under the Tools tab on the main website, have the programs that we utilize in this software to fix your computer. As I said, we run 12 different scanners and tools. We use them because they work in a certain order. That's a process, that makes it successful. With those 12 different scans, we have the best removal program on the market by far, because we have redundancy. So when we finish cleaning it, it's going to be the best clean system out there. This can be done manually. A lot of these steps can be ran. The thing about LikeNEWPC is it's designed for novices. So we basically are wanting the folks that can't help themselves to be able to fix these disabled computers, although this is also powerful enough for the pros. Imagine if you're running a tech shop and you can fix 15 computers at once with just having to come and do a few clicks. So there are benefits to the techs, along with some of the patented stuff that we have. You could do this by yourself, but first off, you'd need to know the process. Then you need to know how to download all the specific utilities, so forth and so on. It's just much better to run LikeNEWPC, and we're free, so it makes it even better. The way that we get paid is at the end. If you feel that we've done a good job for you, you can opt in and give us a $20 bonus. So basically there's a donation of $20 if you wish. You don't have to. So at any rate, once you remove those programs, it's going to connect to the internet again, and then it's going to run just right before it's going to run ADW cleaner. Now, the reason why we show this is it's going to pop this reboot now if it finds any bugs or any problems or any issues with your browsers, because it does a browser clean. It doesn't remove any passwords and stuff. That we do recommend, and it is an option later at the end of the program. But when you run this, it may ask you to reboot now, in which case it'll automatically reboot and start over. You should not need to be there. It should continue to run after this step, unattended, as we state here, but just in case you might want to hang out. The other thing to note is at any point you can click that red X, and during step 2, if you click that red X, it'll allow you the opportunity to exit back to Windows, and then you can click on the icon on desktop and come back. In step 1, you can also exit, but if you exit in step 1, it goes all the way back to the start of the program, because they have to sequence through to take care of all the issues. And it's kind of important that step 1 run continuously. But you can, in step 2, at any time, click the X and come back. As I stated, you can run it in 2 parts. Run step 1 first, click on the red X, and when step 2 comes up, exit to Windows, go to work, come back the next night, click on the LikeNEWPC icon, and come right back. It'll, in step 2, pick up exactly where it left off. So if you exited here and you come back in the next morning from Windows, it will start right here. So at this point, we're going in. There's 5 different scanners here. We do both file scans and what they call holistic scans, and we're basically just beating up all the bugs and viruses and malware and all of the different things that can get into your computer, slow it down, and corrupt everything. It's going to go in and remove all those programs. Like I said, the redundancy will make it the best cleaning tool available. Once that happens, it's then going to come in, and that slide didn't show. It's going to come in and it's going to reset all of the Windows settings. And we use and have worked with a partner called Tweaking, and Tweaking all-in-one computer runs that. It's a fantastic tool, along with all of the others that we have listed on the tools section. As I stated, you can go in afterwards if you don't have any virus programs or you want to run any of these tools independently. You can go in on the tools tab, and we have links to all of these great tools. We utilize all their free products here. Basically, we're helping you use their free stuff. So if you want to go and click through, I would highly recommend that you purchase their stuff, because it works, and that's why we use it. But at this point, you go ahead and restart the computer, and LikeNEWPC is done. Come back here and turn off that share. That in a nutshell is Like New PC. I want to thank you for bearing with me. This is quite honestly our first telecast. And what we're trying to do here is we're going to establish a channel that allows you to come in as a novice or an inexperienced computer user and learn how to fix your PC. The program's automated. We're going to make it even more automated in the future. It's designed to be easy for you. Don't throw those computers out anymore. I'd say a good 75% of them we've seen in our testing of tens of thousands of computers can be saved. So please, please save your computers. Thank you very much for your time.